I teach congressional politics at the college. I've worked on Capitol Hill. My research focus and teaching is all lawmaking and the like, and this is kind of where the action is. Last 15, 20 years, party leadership. I wanted to write something new about that. I felt there was this hole in the scholarly literature and our popular understanding of the coalition building process, and the obvious place to go was to look at the role of the whips, because they're that aspect of the leadership which really focuses on putting coalitions together, gathering votes, and the like. You engage the whips when you need to, right? So if you've got a vote and it's clearly going to be a victory for the party, your majority is solid, you don't have to whip it. It's not necessary. It's a waste of effort and actually can engender a certain amount of political pushback because people don't like being asked. So when they whip, it's when you're right on that cusp. And so it's not surprising that there are a large number of these whipped votes or proposals which end up in defeat for the party. And this has been pretty constant back to the 1950s, where you get 20, 25% of these fights basically, or battles that go the other way. Now, in terms of major votes that have been heavily whipped or they've lost, probably the most recent ones have to do with the repeal of Obamacare. I think when voters, when we look at ongoing events, it just seems like chaos and almost unhinged at times. But if you scratch past the surface, if you really look at kind of the internal mechanisms, there are a set of procedures and processes in place now that have been in place for decades. And the whip process is part of that. In the House, for instance, right now, we talk a lot about the divisions within the majority Republican conference. You've got this group of very conservative members on the right, you've got a few moderates in the middle, and then you've got sort of mainstream Republicans like Paul Ryan, and that they just can't seem to get their act together and come together behind a proposal. That's actually not all that new. If you go back in time, the majority party in the House has always had serious divisions. People don't know much about this process, even to the point where they don't know who the current House Republican whip is. For instance, Steve Scalise of Louisiana, or for the Democrats, Steny Hoyer of Maryland. So these people tend to operate behind the scenes, but the work they do has a big impact on the laws that emerge at the end of the process.